Was 100 inches of snow in your forecast?
No, it was not. That is just an amazing number up there. That is really impressive. They're really just one snowstorm away from being their all-time snowiest winter, like you just mentioned there.
What's the cold weather doing to the commodities markets?
It's really interesting. It was a really slow start to this winter. I've been calling it a last-minute winter. Just here in the last month, February has really cranked up, and natural gas, which had gotten a sluggish start this winter, particularly compared to last winter, has really picked up the pace in terms of demand and the overall pricing and everything. It's gotten a lot more interesting. This February is on track for the U.S. to be the coldest since 1979.
Wow.
So, you know, we had a relatively warm December, but here in February, I think we're all waiting for spring now, but it's been really impressive.
Does cheap oil change the energy mix in winter?
Yeah, I wondered about that as well. I wondered about everything was really cheap. Even natural gas is really cheap. So you just wonder, there's not much of a conservation effect. And with so much cold, I mean, it's right now as we're talking, it's 3 degrees below zero in Chicago. It's 11 degrees below zero in Minneapolis. They're really having a tough go of it out in the Midwest. And natural gas has been relatively cheap, particularly compared to last year with the amazing supply that we have right now.
Matt, how will this affect markets next winter? Do people, when they're thinking about plans for the coming winter, do they just think back to the last winter, or are they actually looking at the data? How sophisticated is that analysis?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, last winter is a huge benchmark, and last winter was a big winter altogether. But right now they're trying to figure out what the end-of-season storage number is going to be before we start moving back into injection season again, starting to resupply the natural gas surplus situation. But the math has changed because this week was really cold, and the next week coming up, and then the first week of March is going to be really cold as well. So they're having to reanalyze the data to try to figure out what our end-of-season number is going to be to set the stage up for the summer, and that sets the stage up for next winter. So there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that have to be figured out now.
Lisa Abramovich still on set with us, who covers fixed income brilliantly for Bloomberg News. Lisa, the story of 2014 was blame the weather, blame the weather. That was the reason we saw the sharp fall in GDP in the first quarter. Lisa, do you think we're going to see that again this year?
Well, so far, actually, the data has been fairly positive, all out and out. So people are actually saying, despite the weather, the net economic sort of outlook seems to be more positive, and you are seeing that reflected in yields that at this point, this month, are rising. But yes, I would imagine that will still be used as an excuse, because why not blame the weather?
Matt, we've been looking at pictures of Boston. We've been talking about 100 inches of snow there, but this winter has affected power markets all over the country, right?
Yeah, certainly. There's been a lot of demand on the power side as well. The PJM market, which is like the Mid-Atlantic, the West PJM, which goes into the Midwest. This morning, the ERCOT down in Texas are dealing with frozen precipitation in Dallas. There's been a lot of demand spikes on the power side, too. But it's really just been the last 3 weeks or so. It hasn't. The first half of this winter has been fairly quiet. Just here in February, it's really picked up.
Matt, can I just ask you a very quick controversial question? As a professional meteorologist, do you believe that humans are causing climate change?
I believe there's definitely some influences being involved there, but yeah, I'm a little bit cautious on some of the climate models. I look at models every single day, and there's a lot of limitations to what the science can do in terms of predicting the future. So I'm a little skeptical about the details on the models, but I agree there's some things going on.